Okay, welcome to another edition of Above the Bridge podcast. This is episode 9. Shout out to our producer, Boy Band John. What's up, Boy Band John?
BBJ.
BBJ. So shout out to Defend Hawaii for keeping us fresh. From now on, if you go on their website, defendhawaii.com, upon checkout, you can get 15% off your whole order. Anything you purchase off Defend Hawaii, use ATB Pod on the promo code ATB Pod. All right. So today, I'm really stoked about our guests. Our guest today, he is on the morning show with Rella. His name is Krystilez. He's also a club MC. He's also a rapper. You could hear him from Angry Locals. He's also, he's also a MMA host and MC and commentator. Please welcome Krystilez. What's up, brother Krys?
Hey, how's it?
Oh, yup. See, that's the professional shit I need.
I have to hype myself up a little bit.
Yeah. Bro, I'm stoked to talk to you, bro. I'm like, it's been a minute. Like, since COVID hit, I don't see you in the clubs, and I just hear you on the radio and stuff, driving my daughter to school.
I know, man. It's been a minute, like a while since we ever even got to do anything.
Yeah.
No fights, no nothing, bro.
Yeah, it's been kind of lame. Like, yeah. So being that you're in the radio business, how did COVID affect you? Like, once it started kicking in?
COVID, well, financially it was like the worst, because there's no events, and a large chunk of my income was like live events and, gatherings. With all that out the window, there's no gigs for us. So a lot of us, in the radio industry just was clinging on to whatever we had solid, like luckily I started my morning show literally the week the first lockdown happened. So as soon as COVID started, as soon as we started our morning show, the very first week, full-blown lockdowns already.
So way to bring in the new show, huh?
Yeah, right. And then they cut down, and of course there's like layoffs and everybody got furloughed, and so I mean, yeah, we went into a skeleton crew. So a lot of us had to double up our work. It was just chaotic, man. So
well, at least it proves your worth to the radio station, though. Like, you're willing to do whatever.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, yeah, I'm not trying to like toot my own horn when it comes to radio, but I smashed all like, like
yeah.
behind the
I
scenes.
Believe it, bro.
Yeah.
Well, your work ethic's been pretty solid. Like, everything you do, like, it's kind of self-evident from what I've seen. You know what I mean? Like, you take everything you do pretty serious. But since you started the morning show, I gotta say, like, when I first heard that you were gonna be in the morning show with Rella, who I've known for like years, I was like, bro, that's kind of a perfect match. Like, and then listening to your guys' chemistry on air is like, wow, bro, like, you kind of just like that's a good mix. You know what I mean? Like, it was kind of organic when you guys came together. But how did that feel when you found out I was gonna be with her?
Well, it first started when we were both working on the Keola and Rella show. I would have to fill in. So when I would fill in when Keola would leave, I would work with Rella, and like instantly we meshed really well. And I think it's because same upbringing, like local people, you stick them both in a room and they will vala out, and it's like all good. Yeah. Rella's like one of the boys, so she can take cracks verbally, but she also give back. It's like, let's go.
Yeah. She's a hammer, and she ain't gonna she's definitely can hold her own. You gotta tell her, like, I think I mentioned to you earlier how she got her name, but back in the day, and she probably gonna get pissed at me for saying this, but MySpace, her name was Pimperella. And I guess she shorted it. But shout out to Pimperella.
Oh my God, I'm gonna roast her tomorrow morning so bad.
Oh yeah. That's gonna be good, bro.
Yeah. So when it came to the morning show, the opportunity came up. They're like, "Oh, you want to do a morning show? We're gonna do this with the station." and they had actually given me the choices to choose, and Rella wasn't actually an option at the moment, because she was working on the Kyola and Rella show, and then some things happened and it became an option as soon as she said she was willing to move over to the local station to do this morning show with me. Then the rest is history.
Just magic, huh?
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, it's tons of fun. I mean, we just have a blast. Like,
Oh yeah. What time do you guys start in the morning?
The show is from 5:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. We get there around 4:30 to prep and stuff like that.
Oh, so that's you got to get up like 4 o'clock, 3:30.
3:30. I take an hour to wind up.
Oh,
like, I
yeah.
Coffee, stretch out. So yeah, I get up 3:30. I think she gets up 3:32 or something like that. But she flies in from Evo Beach to town.
Oh yeah.
And by fly, I mean like 20 minutes.
Well, she was a race car driver back in the day. She was Team Midnight, I think it was.
Still to this day.
Yeah, she
they have
jam,
like the gatherings. Boogie. Yeah, so yeah, we get there early and then we just wind up and go.
Oh, that must be fun. Like, she's a fun person to be with, so it'd be yeah, it's fun to hear you guys. It's a trip. Like, when the people that are talking, it's like, you could like some little inside stuff or the personalities like I recognize, and it's like, bro, it made me feel good to know that you guys, like, when I know radio people, their main goal is to get on the morning show. That's like the one that everybody listens to. And wow, I knew Rella when she was doing the traffic, and then to see her go from where she was then to now, and then seeing what you went through, like the late show or the evening show, and now morning, like in the mix when everybody's driving to work, and it's like, wow, it's like my friends really made it, or they're really doing something cool. It's like kind of proud too. Like it's like a kind of surreal to know you guys. You know what I mean? It's like, for me, that was cool. I'm sure like all your other friends probably think the same way also.
Yeah, it's very interesting. It's something I wanted to achieve because growing up, my grandma was heavy into radio. She'd sit down, like outside in the garage or on the lanai, and just jam radio all day. Like, she knew these guys by name. She'd always talk about them. We would go to the radio event. So, like, naturally, I was like, I could do that,
Oh yeah. Well, how did you get into it? Like, when you were young, were you like very talkative, or like you were comfortable in public speaking and stuff like that? Or like, yeah, how did you ever get into radio? Because on Local Boy from Nanakulli, like that's kind of a weird path to direct yourself into.
Yeah, the radio was kind of something that happened serendipitously. Like, I initially was chasing rap. I really wanted to become a big time rap artist, and everything just hip hop all the time. And radio was something that just so happened presented itself at a moment. There was a job opportunity that was offered to myself from Spooks. I don't know if you know Spooks. He's from your guys' side,
Yeah.
So he had a job opportunity and he had forwarded over to me. He's like, I'm not into this, but would you like to try it? I can get you in. I was like, shoots. And then that's when I started, doing weekends or whatever. And doing like just little weekend shifts was better than making pizzas, because I was working Papa John's at the time.
Okay.
And being a server. And I was like, I'll try it out. It's a natural transition from rap to talking, because rapping is like talking but rhyming.
Yeah.
But and I was always a motor mouth when I was a little kid. I used to get in trouble all the time, bro. In the 5th grade, Miss Alapai pulled me in from recess, scrubbed my mouth with soap.
Oh,
because I said 2 of my classmates was oofing each other. So she pulled my head back and scrubbed my mouth with soap. She's like, you never say that about your classmates.
Oh, you cannot do that kind now, man.
Oh, bro, sue job nowadays.
Yeah, I got bust up back in the day too from my teachers. I went Damien, bro. I got yanked by my tie and shook like I never get hit, but I got shook like I was on cakey.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, high school, bro. I thought I was the man. Brother was a brother too. Like, you know how to get priests and brothers? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
brother Medved grabbed me by the tie and shook me until like, I almost cried. Like, I know I went bathroom, had to regain my composure. But so when you were young, like you was Kolohe and what? You just was a class clown, or like, because you must have been good fun to hang around with back in the day. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I had a my problem was I was a smartass to the teachers. I was very like anti-institution, huh? So I was like, I always thought I was smarter than the teachers. So I would always make them a part of like the show, right? Like I would roast them, and
Oh,
then whatever classmates were down, I never was into like teasing random people in front of everybody. I was more into teasing people who wanted to challenge.
oh,
You know, so I remember back
yeah,
in the
yeah,
day, your mama jokes was real big. Snaps, I think they called them, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so
You
like I
just
would,
battle.
yeah, and then you'll just find friends who you battle with, and at least it's fair that way, you know. When you're teasing somebody who's not ready for it, that's kind of rude.
Yeah, that's a little bit bullying now.
Yeah. So,
Were you like a taller kid when you was young?
not until I was 16. I hit my growth spurt at 16. Up until then, I was like one short, chunky kid, and then out of nowhere, I grew like a foot and a half taller.
I'm still waiting for my growth spurt.
You gotta eat more Manapu man food, bro.
Oh yeah, all
That's
day.
the diet.
I'm gonna
But yeah,
try that
so
tomorrow.
yes, I mean, yeah, I was on short, not short. I guess I was regular size, but I was always hefty. And then, yeah, I hit my growth spurt, and then for a nice period from 16 to about 21, I was tall and I was actually kind of skinny because you know when you growth spurt, everything just stretch out fast, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
And then after you graduate, we became alcoholics, and then that went out the window.
Know that feeling, bruh.
Yeah.
So so you got into radio and then you had your own show, and then how did that like transition into you being able to do it by yourself and stuff?
What do you mean, like having my own
Like your own
show?
personal show where you had full creative control over everything, or
Oh, like it just came naturally. I was always into like AV production, like music production, video production. So, and I'm real familiar with because growing up, my grandma raised me, so you know what that means, right? She stick you in front of the TV, and then the
yeah,
TV is your parents, right? So
yeah,
I really understood the flow of shows real good, and how like shows can take you into up, down, left, right. I always understood where to cut it or where to switch over to commercials, and just the random ideas of that you don't notice when you're watching TV.
oh yeah,
Yeah. So you ever watch a TV show and then like you know that you're already like, oh, that guy gonna die,
yeah.
or that yeah, because they're already like taking you somewhere that you're used to. So I take that same flow and use it for like radio, even live events. Like
Oh yeah.
everything's always some kind of flow. You know,
I
that's
experienced
why
that
like
with you. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
oh no, yeah,
Like at club
I was gonna
events
go.
when you're emceeing over the DJ, like is like the way you guys catch the break, and I was like, there's no way I could figure that kind of stuff out. Like you guys do it perfect.
Yeah,
Like
DJs are good. A prime example, right? Like that's like when Hopple Boy or whatever, when they jump on, the thing goes down, slow tempo, build up tempo, build up tempo. Then it's raging, then it drops down,
yeah,
kind of like it has a heartbeat. Yeah,
yeah. Oh, that's
yeah.
a
The
good way
same
to
goes
put
for
it.
all kinds of shows.
Oh, that's mean. So
So yeah, so it's
oh no,
easy
go ahead.
transition.
So into radio, have you ever thought about getting into television at all?
I did, and I did like a couple back in high school. Actually, one of my biggest projects and proudest projects, actually, I did we called it a variety show, kind of like how did you explain it? Like Saturday Night Live meets the news, I guess. So basically in Nanakulli, we had you had your news, which you want to share, the cool stuff, which is like the football game highlights or the sports highlights or May Day or all the high school events. What I did was I would formulate skits or a story of skits that would take you through all the different parts of that particular show. So for instance, one of it, I had this issue where I was talking to God and there was like a God voice. And then, I'm over here running around chasing this idea of talking to God. And, the first thing it would do would lead me to the football field. And then we show the football highlights. Then it would lead me to the empty cafeteria. Then it would showcase, the drama club. So I've totally forgot. Oh, TV? Yeah, like, I don't know. I'm interested, but not like in newscasting or any kind of personality-based TV like that. Unless it's some kind of entertainment show, like a talk show or something that was just more entertaining as opposed to being a news reporter. Because I think news reporters are not the business, or not news reporters, but the job, because what it is for them, all they get is they get their paperwork or they create their news story and then they have to present it. And it's always bad news. Like, I don't know how these guys have fun or stay happy.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Because
they gotta nowadays.
Always promote. And that's just not my thing. If it's entertainment based, then I'll do TV. But if not, then I'll stay away.
So, like you mentioned, doing these live events through the radio station, and I noticed through your Instagram, like you did a lot of community work at the elementary schools and at high schools and stuff. Like that must be like kind of gratifying. Like you have a story that you can tell these kids, and bro, I watched it. I would be like, see you at the club, and like, dude, you're just at that elementary school. Like, there's some good vibes. Like, so how did that pan out? Like, these kids must adore you. You know what I mean? Like, your energy it must be awesome.
Yeah, it's good fun. They just hit us up. We do like career fairs and whatnot. I feel bad sometimes because I understand entertainment really well. And then you take somebody at a career fair who does something not as fun for a job. And then here I am with my group of kids and we're having a blast, everybody's laughing, making big noise. And then, you have the person next to me and they're like sternly trying to explain to you the seriousness of their job.
How to be a lab
bad
tech.
Sometimes. Yeah. Hey, lab tech's keto. But yeah, so it's very strange in that sense, but it's really good. It's good for me too. I always tell them when I go there, like, this is actually a trade-off. I'm not here to talk to you or tell you what to do or tell you anything that you should do with your life. I'm here to share my mana'o, and in turn, I want you kids to share yours because I want to know how you guys think, what you guys are thinking, what your trains of thoughts are. How do you process information now? Because it's different from when I grew up. And then that way it's easier for me to communicate to them when I do radio shows or when I do my Instagram posts. I kind of understand how they think already,
Oh, that's a good way to look at it. Like, not too many adults take time to listen to the kids. It's always like they're trying to project what they want onto kids versus hearing how learned. Yeah, exactly.
Right? Because how many times like our parents or our parents would act like how their parents treated them to us. And I even catch myself acting like my uncle sometimes, the people that raised me. And I'm like,
oops.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's good to hear how they think. That way you know how to share the information with them better,
That makes sense. I mean, they're guaranteed listening to you on the radio, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, sometimes a lot of them, they're the digital era, so we got to go put it online or, I think the kids nowadays, they're only into highlights.
Oh, yeah. So that's true. I mean, kids nowadays, like they have everything at the palm of their hand. And I think I'd said it before. It's like back when we was young, the biggest thing about phones that I probably wouldn't like is not being able to bullshit my friends. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, you know, when you're young, you talking any kind, and your friends would believe you. You know what I mean? And then you'd come up with a story, and they'd believe you. Nowadays, like, oh, they're gonna be on their phone, like, no way, bro, that's not real. You know, kind of.
Yeah. You know, you didn't post it on Instagram, it didn't happen.
Yeah,
You didn't post
exactly.
it didn't happen.
Yeah. But
yeah,
it's like,
gone are those days.
I know, like, and you have any amount of information in your pocket. Like, imagine if we had that when we was younger. Like, bro, I'd be a genius.
Yeah. Well, it's a gift and a curse, right? Like, you look at what the kids are looking up with that much information.
Oh,
you know, not all of them are exactly trying to progress themselves. And I mean, would we, if we was kids? Like, I'm pretty sure
I know.
It's just because we don't know what we know now back then. So if we was
That's
kids,
true.
we would just be looking up chicks, right? Like,
Yep, 100%.
like DM hunting.
Yeah, yeah, have the biggest forearms in the elementary school.
Right, it was just a yearbook, right? The yearbook, the 2-page spread with all the hot chicks.
Oh,
right?
Oh yeah.
That was our Facebook and MySpace and all that
Oh
shit.
yeah. MySpace was good fun back in the day. You had MySpace? Oh man, I would spend hours pimping out my MySpace. I had like the Matrix background. You'd have the coolest song, and then you get your top 8, and then you'd weed out the chick that did you wrong out from the top 8. Yeah. MySpace was good fun.
It was, bro. That was, and what was cool was that guy really had like a affinity for Hawaii, huh?
Yeah, we did the first MySpace party with him at Pipeline.
Oh, that was you guys.
Yeah, that was us.
That was legendary.
Yeah, that was a mean one. Tom, I got to meet him.
No way.
Yeah.
You know, I always felt like, and I don't know if you felt the same way, but I always felt like MySpace was invented in Hawaii, or like it started in Hawaii. Because I feel like we blew it up. I don't understand. Maybe I'm wrong. But I feel like we was really ahead of things with the MySpace.
Yeah, I think so. And it kind of blended into
here.
like the import scene too. Kind of went hand in hand with MySpace.
Yeah, because that was right on the heels of like the Asian Avenue and stuff like that. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, Asian Avenue is good fun. Oh, that's a throwback. Friendster and all that.
Oh, Friendster.
Oh man, one time I was working at Queens and I logged into Asian Avenue and I forgot to log out. And like, a couple nurses, bro, didn't mess it up. Just talking to all these girls I was talking to, just making me look bad. Asian Avenue, that was good fun.
Oh, legendary.
Yeah, but yeah, MySpace, it was like your own personal little website. Like I used to dig MySpace, but it got kind of played out, huh?
Well, we started. I think that was like everybody's first dip into coding.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you had to
cut and
HTML
paste.
code everything. Yeah. And that's what took out MySpace. Was it Twitter and Facebook?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Oh, I wouldn't mind. I tried a couple months ago to log into it. I couldn't find my password or whatever, just for see like how like what messages had
now.
back in the day. Yeah.
Yeah, I checked too.
Yo. It's like, remember that chick? Then you look at them now and it's like
remember the bulletins too? Remember the bulletins?
Yeah.
That's how you promote stuff, huh?
Yeah. We had those at least for Facebook we had like, wasn't really, I guess it was a bot, but we'd just put everybody we had and it would just send out our club flyers to everybody, bro. It was like but so much people got mad. Like, bro, I'm sick of your stupid flyers. But MySpace was always that little red envelope. It's like, somebody messaged me. Yo, that was good stuff back in the day.
Heck yeah.
So like back in the day you used to rap a lot. Like you're still doing a lot of stuff. Bro, you guys do like straight freestyle jams and stuff, right? Nowadays.
Yeah, so everything's a lot more organized nowadays. Before, we just like pop up to the block or a cipher and just rap or whatever. But now we just we're in the studio a lot. And right now for Angry Locals, we're doing this thing called the Angry Locals Freestyle Friday Wrap Up. And what it is every Friday, we get to drop a freestyle on High 93 about, anything, whatever we want to talk about, whether it be current events. And that's kind of unprecedented for Hawaii. I was always into, I don't know if you ever heard of Sway and Tech's Wake Up Freestyles or something like that.
No, I don't think I did.
There's a bunch of them too. There's a bunch of freestyle shows that I enjoyed growing up, like where rappers would go in and just rap. So I'm super excited that we got to get one for the boys where we could just say whatever's on our mind. I mean, like, there are no boundaries, and
Yeah.
And we do it on a local station, so we're talking to our people, like, about whatever we like. And so we do a freestyle every Friday.
I know. I seen a couple of those that you posted, and bruh, it's like, it's you and Ose, right?
Me, Ose, and Mox, Big Mox.
Oh yeah, Big Mox. Yep. That's
And
kind
then
of a good mesh right there.
Yeah, that's the gang. And
Yeah.
we all came from battling, huh? We all have battle backgrounds. And frick, bro, that's my dogs. We've been through a lot together.
Oh man, I could tell. So rap's pretty much your passion, right? Like that's something you took from childhood and you're still doing.
Yeah, bro. I started when I was 14, so I'm 37. Bro, it's 23 years. It's over half my life.
God, that's crazy.
Yeah,
And,
I just love to do it, Like I'm not trying to. I just do it to do it. The good thing about rap, as opposed to like other sports, because I feel like rap is like a sport, I always feel like 'cause it's always competitive. The good thing about rap, what I like, is that you actually get better the older you get, the more refined you become, the more, masterful you become, as opposed to like if you were to do boxing, like we just saw Tyson and
Roy
Tyson
Jones.
and Roy Jones.
Yeah.
They were masterful. They were beautiful. They're just older, and you couldn't put them in the ring with somebody who was 25 years old, or you couldn't put them in the ring with these younger cats. It wouldn't be fair. But you put us in the ring as we get older against younger cats, we're actually sharper and more on it.
It'd be a murder.
yeah. So that's what I like about it. It's fun.
So in Hawaii, like, what is the rap culture? I mean, it's not nearly as huge as it is in the mainland, but you guys do have a good following. And I went to a couple of your shows, and right, the energy is off like crazy. It's pretty fun to be at. But how big is the rap genre in Hawaii, and is it growing from these younger kids? Because I mean, I know a bunch of rappers that like been in Hawaii that have good music, but they never made it to the next level. Like, but I'm sure you guys are inspiring younger kids. And like, how's the culture now, like nowadays, like coming up for the younger generation?
Well, it's just naturally going to get bigger. Rap in Hawaii, when it comes to like rap artists and performers and groups, everybody always had their niches. Some you would call them your friends or your group or your community. Everybody has their support group of, I would call it like their niche market, right? Like everybody has, like, let's say every rap group or a rap artist has a solid couple hundred of those. Everybody's saying that the market's saturated, but that actually means it's growing. So if every rapper had 200 fans, the only issue is everybody's only making music for their fans and not for everybody else. So what it is they have their 200, and their 200 are supporting them half because their music. The other half is because they like you, they associate with you. And that's it. They're not going to look for other rap artists until there's an artist that talks to everybody, everybody's little groups at once.
And makes sense.
That's how I think we would grow the culture faster, bigger. It's definitely growing. It's just everybody's separated again into their own little niches. And it's always the same issue with every generation. I feel like, I just feel like more artists need to look out of that and look at everybody and look who you're talking to. Like Hawaii, plenty local people, like Choke, and they'll support you if they enjoy your music. You got to talk to them though. You cannot talk to somebody else and expect them to listen. Does that make any
That
sense?
makes sense. Yeah, for sure.
Like,
Well, that's kind of what you're doing with your Friday thing, right? It's straight to the local people. Yeah.
Yeah, and we're just feeding them straight. Like, the good thing about the freestyle is like it's very time relevant. So we get to attack subjects that are, I mean, one of the biggest ones we did was the hurricane one, Hurricane Dougie.
Yeah.
And that one went super viral because we dropped it when the hurricane was supposed to hit.
Yeah.
So
that's some timing, man.
Yeah, it's just cool. Like, it's just, but we're talking to everybody, right? As opposed to
like grandmas would enjoy that kind of stuff as well as young kids, and because it's relatable.
Yeah, get the local people talking. That's all it is. I think a lot of rappers just stuck in their own zone trying to push their vibe onto local people as opposed to feeling the vibe of everybody at once.
Oh, that makes sense. Wow, that might inspire some people because like that does make sense.
Yeah, you just know who you're talking to, like,
yeah. And with Angry Locals, you guys been doing it for a long time, but I remember you guys did battles in the Shack in Waikiki. You guys had a performance at Rock Bottom I went to, and I was like, when you guys perform, you guys are having fun, but it definitely portrays your passion. Like being an artist and performing is not something most people can do, and like especially with you, Mox and Osna, you guys just look like you guys are having a blast, and we were fortunate to put you on a couple of our events. And
heck yeah,
that just made me
feel
good. Yeah, we did get you on the show. Yeah, that was super cool. Yeah, that was awesome, bro. Like to see you guys perform is always cool. It's like for me, is watching my friends do cool stuff that always makes me stoked. And that's something you've been doing since at a young age. Also, like with Hawaii culture and you guys doing your rap thing, you always brought up to me, just as a fan perspective, how MMA is in Hawaii. And you always like, and I never really thought of it in a way until you laid it down. It's like, bruh, fighting is our culture. Living in Hawaii, fighting is our culture. And of course, they turned it into a sport. And like, you've been a fan of MMA for a while, huh? Like you've been following that stuff.
Yeah, we grew up around scraps, right? Like I remember like back in the day, and like everybody into fighting, everybody was into kung fu movies. Remember those?
Oh yeah, black belt theater. Yeah.
Like, there was this is one thing I was always fascinated with because I couldn't do it back in the day. But you'd have guys like shadow boxing on the grass or whatever, and then you get one guy who holds a slipper. And the slipper, he would raise them as high as he can, and then you would have to like jump, spin, kick the slipper. like the slipper was your pad, right?
Yeah, the focus mirror.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just I was raised around it. It was always a thing. I mean, we love fighting so much. We fight chickens.
Yeah, exactly. But that's how it was too. Like after school, by the Manapur truck, that's where you're gonna have on beef or like back roads after school. Like
where was the spot on your guys' side for scraps?
Was either by the Manapur truck when we was little kids, like we gonna beef by the Manapur truck, or they're gonna park up the street by my house was Kapunahala basketball courts. And you'd enter the court, like get one side of the fence going cage, and then the other side, so you can enter both sides. And then it's like, brah, this is going down. Like, and if you the guy fighting, it's like, like you cannot back out now. Everybody's here.
I never got into that kind of scrap where it was like a set up space. Everything was always like really fast. Like, we're gonna scrap.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you did, but I don't know. I couldn't imagine what the feeling is walking up to scrap and you get like 30 guys behind you like you're going to war.
Yeah.
The whole crowd would follow you, right? Like,
yeah. But nobody would jump in, kind. They just like watch.
But just feel real, huh? Like
yeah. Couple times that I did that. Couple times I got dirty lickings. Couple times I won, but for me, I was always small, so like people would pick on me, and then I realized at a point in my life, like, I gotta fight back, or it's still gonna keep happening. So once I decided, okay, I'm fighting back, even if I got lickings, like, I would gain respect from that person. They would never bother me again. And most times, like, the people that I got into fights with, they became friends to this day, and like we're friends. Like, oh, remember the time we beefed by the parking lot by Kapuna Hall? You know what I mean? It's like, but yeah, I mean, it was like always a thing. Like, always gonna have a beef in when you're young in Hawaii. Like, that is the culture, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
When
and
you're
that's why,
little.
like, it was a natural. I mean, when MMA, I don't know, when MMA first started, I guess like the first UFC, that was like one of the biggest promotions. Like, I just saw like excitement out of everybody in Hawaii. Like, oh, okay, like this is something real, you know?
Was UFC 1 out of the big someone, what's his name? What was his name?
With the tattoos.
Taylor Willie.
Yeah,
from the Hawaii 5-0. Someone bust his tooth out of his mouth.
With like one chop, huh? Was it a
yeah.
chop?
Yeah, it was like a Savat guy. One rich hand. The rich hand.
Yeah, bro.
It works.
Yeah, that was classic. And then after that, Chemo, yeah? Chemo was the first white guy.
He came out with the big cross.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, you can gas out. You carry that thing to the ring.
And you know, Hawaii people are loyal, win or loss. Because I remember when he lost to Hoist Gracie, I think.
Yeah.
Like, they had a hard fight. He lost, but Hoist Gracie, I think, busted his hand or something during the fight, and so he had to pull himself out from that UFC.
Yeah.
I think he was like 3 or 4, and I was like, yeah, see, only Chemo can take out Gracie. Bust his hand, even though he lost.
He can't continue. That's a win.
Yeah. We take that.
Yeah. But like, growing up in Hawaii, and so you've experienced how the MMA culture grew, and I'm sure you went to the Super Brawls and the Rumble on the Rocks, and like, those were so much fun. Like, I remember when Egan Inoue and Nico used to fight, and Ron Jun, and the Blaisdell was like sold out, and the electricity of these local brothers going to beef. Like, it was just that you can't recreate that now. Like,
yeah, and why is that? I don't. Was it because I remember? So my guess is from back in the day was, and what got me so interested was, you know, it was a new sport, and the allure of these people. You know, I was like, they were superheroes. Like, I remember seeing who did we just talk about? What was his name? The Japanese
Nico.
guy?
Oh, Egan.
No.
Egan Inoue.
Egan.
Yeah.
Egan did the super punch.
Oh, yeah.
You know, he jumped up, super punch, and I was like, my jaw dropped. I was like, oh, how did you do that?
Yeah.
You know, and so I think like they were larger than life back then. Do you think it's because like fighters are with social media and everything, and there's so much fighters? Do you think it's because fighters are just human beings now to the crowd?
Yeah, and at that time they weren't as accessible. You know what I mean? And like, now you know what they had for lunch. You know what I mean? Just go on their IG. You know what I mean? But at that time, that sport was so new, and it was exciting because, like you said, we grew up in that culture. So now we're kind of showcasing the elite of our culture against, like, when Super Brawl came down, they would fight mainland guys. Like, oh, finally we see some local guys lick some howlies. You know what I mean? It's like, it was fun. And then when we would win, like when Nico won, he fought Masanori Suda. I think that's what his name. And he won the belt, the Super Brawl belt.
Yeah.
And everybody rushed the ring and lifted, and I was in the crowd just like, what am I watching? Like, like sold out arena for that stuff. And it was that era was spectacular because the guys that fought in UFC could fight in Super Brawl. They could fight in Pride. They could fight in mixed organizations.
Yeah.
And I think what happened to Hawaii's MMA, where when our fighters and we got a bunch of ones that are good, once they become at a certain level, they get plucked out of our local system to the big show. And then, so the shows in Hawaii, like, they're not as great because the best fighters from Hawaii are already in the UFC. I mean, if like we did fights together, you MC the Destiny fights and the X1 at the top of the game, like the main events for those fights, like you could put them in the UFC and it would get the same kind of reaction. But it's like the everyday people that used to go to the icons and the super brawls, they're not really following these younger local fighters. They're usually just following them when they get to the UFC. But when Super Brawl was going on, you could follow these fighters because you'd go, and those events were such a big thing. Like Rumble on the Rock, like that was crazy.
Yeah, there's some shocking legends that came down and fought. Robbie came and fought here.
Yeah, right? Yeah. She's Matt Hughes. I seen Matt Hughes fight at Super Brawl. I seen
Vitor Belfort's first fight was in Hawaii.
Oh, really?
Was a Super Brawl.
Oh, that's some knowledge. That's pretty cool.
Who owns Super Brawl?
It was TJ Thompson, and he later changed it to Icon, and then they were bought out by Strike. Was it Strike Force? I think Strike Force bought out them and Rumble on the Rock.
Oh.
And then
they gotta bring it back, man.
Yeah, I mean, like, our friends try, like Jay and Ryan, they put on their Destiny, and bruh, like those caliber fights could have been at sold out arenas. You're like cage side, and those fights are, bruh, it's exciting, and it's like, bruh, this place should be packed out. Like
that's an ode to Hawaii fighters. That's why Hawaii fighters, like, regardless of skill set and regardless of your background, 9 times out of 10, they're gonna scrap. Like a lot of them don't, they're not point fighting. Our fighters don't point fight. They scrap. They want a winner. And I think that's what separates us from a lot of the fight organizations where everybody's trying to build their records and trying to just get these numbers right. I think our local fighters here understand the idea of highlights and how a highlight reel can get you higher faster.
It's cool though, like, because one of my best friends, he runs Hawaii Elite MMA, so he's always talking to me about like these up and coming fighters, like, and then you kind of follow them. Like I first met Russell. I don't know if you know Russell Doan, and he was starting off, like, I think his first fight was Icon or something, and Charles would tell me, "Oh, watch this guy," and then he got into X1 and he's like, "Oh, can you sponsor him?" And Artist Groove sponsored him, and then Defense sponsored him, and we watched his career. And I remember, like, he texted me a picture of the UFC contract when he got it, and I was like, "Holy shit, Russell's in the UFC!" And his the first fight that he fought in United States, bruh, we brought the tribe down. Like, we were like the flags and everything was like, to see him compete in the UFC was like super crazy. It's like one of our friends that like comes to my barbecues is in the octagon right now, and it's like, like super surreal. And I'm sure you got some friends like Max and all those guys that's doing big things, but I think the Hawaii fighters bring that same kind of mentality to the bigger shows. Like, they're ready to scrap. You know what I mean? They're not trying for take you down and weather points and get a decision. They're trying for, I mean, look, Maki, like he's trying to take your head off as soon as the fight starts.
Kill or be killed, man. These guys. That's why I like it. Like, and I think that's why Dana doesn't mind keep pulling fighters from here. Yeah, because they're gonna put on.
Yeah, I just wish there was a way where we could create a local event with the same magnitude, and to help these younger fighters get used to being in such a big crowd. Like, I mean, when Blaisdell was sold out, like when BJ fought like Rumble on the Rock, like, right, the excitement just walking to Blaisdell was like, holy shit, we're gonna watch BJ fight at Blaisdell. It's like, bro, he fought one time at Aloha Stadium for Rumble on the Rock.
Really?
And, yeah, he fought Gracie, and me and my friend Frank, we were like couple rows from the cage, and it was like It was I think it was K1 Grand Prix, but BJ got to fight in it, and it was bro, it was something I'll never forget. He
I
fought
always wondered. Oh, no, go
he
ahead.
fought Takanori Gomi at Blaisdell one time on Rumble on the Rock. Yeah.
No shit.
I Google that. He'd choke him out, bro. He'd bust him up.
Yeah. Oh, that's sick.
Yeah.
I've always wondered if and I know this is probably not the way to go in regards to promoting a sport, but if we're lacking storytelling, or if the fighters are lacking storytelling, for instance, I think he's really good at marketing and storytelling is Nainoa. Nainoa is a really good, he'll storytell. He'll be like, I went through this today, or I'm doing this, and he keeps reminding you why he's fighting and consistently storytelling. Do you think that's something we might be missing in regards to like trying to build up this sport in Hawaii?
That's true. Maybe if you showcase their backstory and put a kind of, yeah, you're right, like a story to the name, and let the everyday person, not just a MMA fan, like you know what I mean? Like there's a lot of UFC fans in Hawaii, but they're not really following the local circuit. But if you could get those people to kind of get into these younger fighters' personalities and kind of follow them when they're growing up, and yeah, that makes sense. Like I don't know that because basically the MMA events now is like you go to, and it's basically friends and family of the fighter.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of them, so you can get a lot of people there, and it's fun to watch. But you're not getting just MMA fans. And I know they're there because when they had Bellator come down, that place was rocking, and it's possible, but I just don't know how we could do it. Like,
who's a good one? Another good one, I really enjoyed him was Mayhem Miller.
Oh, yeah.
Because what it was his nickname? He was Hawaii's most hated haole since Captain.
Yeah.
Bro.
He played the heel. It's like wrestling.
Yeah.
He played the heel.
I
remember he's in that commercial at Fighter's Corner, and he had like in the middle of Kalihi, and he's holding up all this stuff. Yeah, he is a good marketer. Like, he made every local person hate him, and he would just win. He'd beat all the local brothers. Like he beat the top of the Hawaii, like, and then people started liking him, and then they wanted him to, and then they put him against Lawler and put him against Trigg, and then everybody was his fan after that.
Yeah.
He won him over. He used to come to our events, right? Too, bro. Yeah.
When when you said you'd fight when you was little, and even if you lost or whatever, you'd get the respect. I think it's the same concept when it comes to guys like him.
Yeah.
Right? Like he talks a lot of shit, but I mean he backed it up,
Oh yeah. And he would, bro, imagine that coming into Hawaii, one punk haole guy, and you get a whole arena of people just wanting to see you get lickings, and then you win. Oh, imagine the walk out of that arena. It's like, oh shit.
Guarantee he was laughing in the back. Like once you get backstage, like yeah.
Got these guys. Oh man. But he would come to our events, especially like he would come after, like the after party. He would come to our events, and he was a pretty nice guy. Like from my interactions with him, even Chris Lieben used to come to our events, and they were cool cats. Like,
I took what I paid when I was younger. I paid for a Chris Lieben class.
Oh yeah,
just to go try it out. Oh, he fucked me up, bro. Not sparring, nothing like that. Just just with his level of training.
Oh,
I couldn't walk for like 5 days after. Like he just, holy shit. That's when he proved like, okay, that's a different level. That is, inhuman, bro.
Oh, so he had a class or a school here.
Yeah, he did. I think this was right before UFC decided to start a gym with BJ Penn. He had UFS, I think it was Ultimate Fight School. And he opened one up in Puck's Alley It was
Oh, I kind of remember that.
Yeah, like right by my
right upstairs.
upstairs, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, right upstairs from the Nook. You ever heard of the Nook? It's like
Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
breakfast place. Yeah, it was right upstairs. And I think, and then he was saying to us, after like, yeah, freaking Dana, them not happy, and they like shut him down because he just bit the logo, right? The U, the F, with the line. Yeah, he didn't care.
Yeah. But I would see him out. He'd have this Guns N' Roses T-shirt, and then the very next day would be out, and he'd be out again with the same T-shirt. And I was like, "Oh, brother went bat or he get choked Guns N' Roses T-shirts."
Maybe he's a big fan.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not gonna question him about it.
But yeah, the way MMA in Hawaii is now, like I could see like a lot of these young kids becoming hybrid fighters at an early age. Like back in the day, it was like I was a boxer or a kickboxer. I knew how to wrestle, and then they just go into MMA. Now these kids are learning MMA from such a young age that they're already evolving as MMA fighters and not trying to grasp each concept of the art. It's kind of cool to see in these kids, bro. They're talent. And they get the Hawaii mentality. It's like you mix that with the talent and dedicated drive. Right, we already put out some champions. Look, Max and BJ, but like it's gonna be fun to see the future. Like I can see a bunch more coming out of Hawaii, and you're right. Dana does like the Hawaii mentality, the way they fight. They just gotta get there and prove themselves. But it's fun to watch. Hopefully we could try and put a event together where we can build some of these fighters and kind of link the fans to the MMA sport in Hawaii. Like the everyday MMA fans, not just the friends and family of the fighters competing.
Or just, talking to the casuals, right? The casual fans, like somebody who might be interested in fighting, but, or maybe like, for instance, my other half's dad, my father-in-law, he the very first question he has is, "Oh, are there fights outside of the ring?" Like he's from, he's a retired Air Force. He's from Cleveland, lived here for like 15 years already, almost 20 years, and he's never been to an MMA event, but that's his initial thought. So do people get crazy? Like, just because that's the stereotype of it already, right? Like, because it's a violent event and Hawaiians like to scrap, are there scraps everywhere? Is it scary? I think but maybe if it was presented as a show and, more dramatics in regards to the storytelling, I think it might do good in bringing in your casual fan, your person who's working as a secretary, who low key, likes watching fighting or street fights on Instagram, but never wants to go to an event because they think people can get lickings,
Yeah.
And then they might associate. Imagine if you're you're a custodian, right? And then all of a sudden you find out the guy that's fighting is also a custodian. And it's like, holy shit. Like, I gotta see this, right? Like, you associate with it.
Yeah. Or somebody that grew up in your neighborhood, or like, this Kanye fighter or something like that.
Yeah. What? This guy eat KJs every day and he's a fighter. I do that too. I go watch him,
Yeah, that's it's relatable.
6-piece fried chicken.
Yeah.
Well, they times is different now. 4-piece, bro.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Last year they said 5-piece, but now 4-piece.
Cutting down.
They because people only ordering one plate for 2 people. No.
Yeah.
Before. Bro, I had this guy when I went in there the last time I went, like a month ago. One guy ordered one plate fried chicken plate lunch. So that's 4 pieces fried chicken, all mac.
Oh, that's what gets stuck shit.
Salad, it's like tuna kind of tuna.
Yes.
Oh yeah, it's like spaghetti. They cut them up small. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, bro, I was like, you're pretty smart, my friend. You're pretty smart. Because then now, if you cook rice at home, that one plate turned into 2 plates.
Yeah, exactly. Bro, you was just in Kaneohe eating. I seen your video at was it Brick Oven Pizza?
Yes, sir.
Bruh, I'm gonna be honest with you. I was super jealous.
Why?
Okay, not because of the food you ate, because that looked good. You had the smoked meat, you had all the pizza, the pasta. Like, I can do that. I can get that. What I was jealous most about that video is at the beginning of it, you walk to Brick Oven Pizza and you high five the awning that holds the sign.
Yeah.
Bro, I didn't see that. I was like, I remember when I was a little kid, that used to be Blockbuster, and I used to run and jump for touch the thing. For years, I couldn't touch it. And you didn't walk, and you said, pop. You just hit him with your hand. I'm like, motherfucker.
I was wondering if anybody was gonna pick up on that. I was like,
Yo,
I'm just gonna whack this real quick.
I picked up on it. Because that used to be Blockbusters. I would run in full sprint and try and hit that thing. When I don't know, man. I think I can graze them by now. We're in good hop, but
Wow.
you just was like, pop. And I'm like, holy shit, bro. You just living my dream.
Oh yeah. No, that was fun, bro. That place is good. They get
yeah.
They have really good food.
They get action.
And then so I didn't know it was a Kauaian company. Like they're from Kauai. I didn't know that.
Yep. My parents took me there when I was young on Kauai. You had to go through that tree tunnel or whatever.
Oh.
And then it was Brick Oven Pizza. Then they opened one in Kapolei when I was living in Eva for a little bit. So we'd check it out. And when I moved back to Kaneohe and they opened one in Kaneohe, I was like, yup, perfect.
Yeah.
Sometimes we watch football games. Yeah, they get action. Plus, too, the staff is super friendly over there.
Yeah, well, I believe like the owner's family runs the places. So the bartender that I was talking to, that was serving us, he was saying like he runs that one, and then his girlfriend runs the Kapolei one, and then he was leaving the next day to go Kauai for Thanksgiving, and he's like, yeah, that one in Kauai never gonna shut down. We own the property. Like we don't own the land. Like I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, that's a good no need to deal with tenant lease and all that stuff.
Yeah. Not like the ones over here, like because I went there because we were doing an endorsement for A&B. So, they sent us to go check it out and stuff like that. But yeah, it's cool, man. The vibes is straight Kauaian. Like talking story with the guy, I'm like, oh, I feel right at home,
I know Uncle on the side. I got into it with him one time because he's a Rams fan. He's a Rams fan, and the Niners was playing them, and he was talking all kinds of shit, and then we were winning. And I was like, what now? And he's getting all mad, and I was like, bruh. So when you pan to him, I'm like, no way, bruh. That's Yo, that was his same spot too, bruh.
Bruh, he was like the guard dog. As soon as we would sit down, boom, he started hitting me and Keo with questions. I had the face mask on that says bars on top. He's like, hey, brother, what is that? Bars. What does that mean? So I go explain to him, and then he's like, oh, okay. You don't need to wear a mask, over here. I was like, oh, okay, thanks, unks. Like, and then, just volleying with him, make trouble.
Yup, Rams fan, bro. I remember that guy. It was so weird when you pan to him. I'm like, no way. How do I know that guy? Yeah.
Oh, I don't want to talk football right now. The Cowboys is having the worst year of their.
Oh, you're Cowboys fan. I don't know. I was with Chris a couple of times, and we went to watch the Niners because I'm a Niners fan. And he came with me. The Cowboys played the Niners 2 years in a row. And we're walking down to our seats. And Ezekiel runs one touchdown right in front of me and Chris. And Chris was just like ecstatic. Like he's seen one of his favorite players score a touchdown. And I'm the opposite. I'm like, fuck. And we did 2 years in a row, the Cowboys smashed us. He gave me like a like a sorry card, like sorry for your loss. Like he had them in his bag, and I'm just like, bruh.
Wow.
So like I hate to tell you, but I don't care that the Cowboys are like, and we play the Cowboys this year, and I'm like, oh, if we lose to the Cowboys again, bro, like, but if we win, oh, the shitstorm I got planned for Krys.
Yeah, right.
It's been like
You should send,
5 years in the making. I've been just sitting on it.
you gotta send him one nail. Be like, this is for your coffin. Like,
Exactly.
because you guys better not lose to this Cowboys of all Cowboys.
Well, our whole team is injured though.
Yeah, but our team sucks, bro. Like we're on par with the Eagles.
Oh yeah, they got smashed today. I was like, what the fuck? You know what's crazy? But if there was no salary cap, the Cowboys would be the most undefeated team. They'd be like the NFL version of St. Louis.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, hell yeah.
Because they got all the money. Like if there was no salary cap, the Cowboys be the best.
Well, I mean, I don't understand how this doesn't happen in football. The backdoor deals, like I understand. Okay, let's say we sign you for $35 million a year. How about we sign you for $15 million a year, and then I throw your wife $20 million a year to be I don't know, my maid or something, or my
sweep the parking lot on fast.
yeah. Or what they call it, consulting. Yeah. Your wife's a consultant.
Yeah.
Right? Like, why didn't
you
just
could do that? Yeah, or put him on trust for their kid or something.
Yeah, like
might
I don't
be
understand.
onto something.
Well, you figure they would have done them if, I don't know, maybe it's very, very strict, like federal crime or something if you do that. I don't know.
You know what I don't like about football nowadays, which kind of, I guess, wasn't as bad back in the day, is like, your favorite player gets traded. So you know how much jerseys of guys that were Niners I have? And bro, I was like, fuck this. I just started making my own. I get 44 for Kanioi. That's for 4-4. And I get Thaddeus in the back because they ain't trading me. So it's like, that's the thing, bro. I get so many jerseys of ex-49ers. Like, oh yeah, I got the new kind. And then, you just got traded. It's like, bro, it's like $100 right there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that sucks. I haven't bought a jersey in a while, only because we haven't had a promising season in a while. So I'm like,
I don't know. Cowboys are due though. They're due. They always turn around eventually. Yeah. Like, you guys division. You guys can get in the playoffs with like 4 wins.
Yeah, it's true. But yeah, I don't know. I don't watch because Rella's team is Steelers. So.
Oh, they're beasting right now.
Yeah, so I just
undefeated. That's how we was last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good point.
Oh, bro. Last year, every person, like, I'll be at the parking, like, the red light, be with my 49er hat. Oh, undefeated.
Yeah.
Like, this year is like, fuck, bro. Can we get a win? Our whole team is on IR.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah.
I'll be cutting grass with fucking my jersey on, like when car come past. Oh, undefeated. Bruh, so what I noticed in your recent, like, past couple years was, bruh, you got to travel a lot, huh? You've been going to outer, like, different countries in Japan and stuff, huh?
Yeah, I finally got to, that kind of stuff was on my bucket list for a while. I just, never really put the focus to do it until, I've been with my other half for like 6 years now, and we both like traveling. She's from England, actually. So,
wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, we took our first one was Japan, and Japan is a really easy one because it's, one flight, and, we have so much Japanese people here that understand Japan really well, that they give us, my boss, K Smooth, he used to DJ there like every other month. So he basically gave us the entire lowdown of like, okay, stay here, stay at this hotel because it's right above the train station. That way the train station can take you wherever you want to go. And Japan's like, a really safe place to travel to if you're going to travel somewhere.
Yep.
Because everybody's so respectful and has a lot of integrity. So, I mean, you know, got to really worry about crime, you know.
Yeah. One thing I noticed in Japan is very clean, and the people there, they take so much pride in what they do. Like if you're the toilet cleaner in Japan, you're gonna be the best toilet cleaner ever. Like, if I'm the street sweeper, my street's gonna be perfect. It's like whatever they do, no matter what big or small a job it is they're gonna take pride in it. And I think that's something that like Americans are like lack. Like they just hurry up, I can get done with this, so I can cut corners and go home. You know what I mean? It's like Japan. It's like, bro, I'm gonna make sure every little thing is perfect, and it's that pride. But I've been to Japan, and it's good fun, and the food is crazy.
Fuck yeah. And you just walk everywhere.
Yeah.
Like walk and train, you know? So like we ate a lot, but because we walked so much, I actually came back and I lost weight.
Oh, that's good. You burn off like all the food you eat.
Yeah.
That's just,
you're constantly moving, you know?
Yeah. And the food is fresh, and like, oh man, it's one piece of fish over there is like melts in your mouth. Is then you come back here and it's like Genki ain't cutting it, bro.
Yeah. So I did Japan. We did a club night. Me and DJ Toma went to Australia.
Oh,
Toma
wow.
actually flew me out.
Really?
Yeah.
That guy's a cool dude, man.
Yeah. So we went out there, and in Australia it was nuts because the guy that owned that bar that club that we had the club night at owned like 30 something restaurants in Australia. And it was Toma's friend from Vegas. And they were en route to opening like a new restaurant every week or every month or something in Australia. And this guy was like an animal in business. And we talking to this guy, this Hawai'i guy, retired military, had a goatee, you know, salt and pepper hair, very fit. Boom, he just busts out the pigeon. As soon as I walk in, he's like, "Hey, where you from?" He's like, "Oh, yeah, I'm from Nanakulli," because I know that he's from Hawaii. So I'm like, "Oh yeah, from Nanakulli." He's like, "Huh? What pot?" And I'm like, "Oh, the valley." He's like, "Oh, okay. You know so and so?" I was like, "Yeah, I know them." He's like, "Yeah, that's my cousin." So he is actually from Waianae.
Oh wow.
Yeah, bro, nuts. Like this Hawai'i guy you wouldn't have even imagined, but he born and raised in Waianae and joined the military, got out, and ended up becoming one of the biggest, like, he's a big restaurant and club owner.
In
and
Australia.
I was just shocked. Yeah,
That's
well,
crazy.
he was in Vegas first.
Oh,
and
yeah,
then he shifted over to Australia. His name's Frank. Yeah, and it was just shocking how small the world got, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And how inspiring that was.
Did you ever get to go to your girlfriend's hometown and visit that part?
Yeah, so that was our last international trip before COVID, actually. It was October. We went to she's from England, so we went to we went to London first, hung out for a little while, then we took the longest Uber ride I ever took. I think it was 3 hours. This Uber ride was like $300.
Oh.
And we went to this town called Leicester, and that's where she's from. And then we stayed at her grandparents' house, the house that she grew up in.
Oh wow!
And polar opposite weather. But once you start traveling, you start noticing a lot of people in the world they're all just trying to get by. Everybody just living their lives. So it was nice out there. I mean, like, it looked England reminds me a lot of Hawaii, a lot like Hawaii, because they get plenty of farmland, plenty fields, and, they have like farms and animals and wildlife and stuff like that. So England's really nice. Cool. And England, everybody's a smart ass.
Oh, for real?
Oh, in a heartbeat. Yeah. And it's their culture. Like when I first got to London, that night we went to London and we saw a red phone booth. And it's raining, we're cold, and I'm a little bit like on edge because it's raining, cold, and wet. And so I have Kia to go take a picture in front of this red phone booth. You know, the ones that say they have in England, telephone. And then I ready to take the picture. I go 1, 2, and just as I hit 3, a woman sticks her umbrella out in front of the camera. A random woman. And I was like, oh, I was so angry. She thought it was funny. She stuck her umbrella out, ruined the picture, and she starts laughing to her boyfriend as they walk off. So I turn and I'm like, hey, you slag. Because I heard slag was an insult, right? It's slut, I think, in
okay.
England. Slag. So she walked by, I'm like, hey, slag. And then she turned around and she got mad. She's like, excuse me. And I was like, I just stared at her. I was furious. And I already sized up her boyfriend and I was already on edge. So I told myself,
I got him down.
Yeah, I could smoke this guy right now. Like, and then
you can die because of her and her stupid umbrella.
Yeah. She grabs him, turns him around, and so he's like, oh, okay, like he's ready to defend. And then he saw me, and then he stopped. He grabbed her, turned her around, and then he off.
He's like, he didn't want that smoke.
Yeah, like, and I was so mad already. Like I was like, bro, I'm gonna go to jail in London. I don't care.
Someone's dying tonight.
Yeah, you fucking prick. Like I was so pissed. But then I think, you know, as I hung out there more and talked to more people, I realized being a smartass is part of how they communicate. Like if you watch like British comedy, like The Office, I think, or what is the guy that hosted I think it was the Oscars?
Ricky Gervais. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you notice how much they're smartasses, that's how they talk on normal. Like even their responses to something like, oh, I don't know if you left your milk on the counter. They won't say, oh, why'd you leave your milk on the counter? They'll be like, oh, you're waiting to pop out a baby to drink the milk or something. Like, you know, like they have a smart ass comment just to communicate. It's just how they talk.
That's their culture is.
Yeah, it's just normal. So I don't know if I took her throwing the umbrella out too sensitively, but
Would that get you licked in Hawaii?
Yeah, so I was, and I was ready, bro. I was like, I'm ready. Yeah. They ain't got no guns in London.
Yeah,
I heard they got no guns, so I'm good.
Oh man, we've been going for a while. I think I could talk to you all night, but I think we should wrap it up.
Yeah, sorry. To anybody who's still watching, thank you guys so much. But I'm sorry. Me and Dad, we know this is how we would talk if we could like actually sit down and talk. Because every time we meet up, we're working. We are at an event.
Somebody like bother us.
Yeah.
Play my song, or anyone drink, or you can get so and so into the club, or. But what I really like working with you with, and I remember when they needed an MC for the Destiny fights. I'm like, I got the guy, and I called you up and was like, Krys, can you MC the Destiny fights? And the moment you got there, it was like, bruh, you had that crowd going, you had everybody laughing, you had the crowd into it, and you're doing like challenges, and bruh, that's your thing, bro. Like you always, whatever you do, you have that magic. And for me as a friend, it's always cool to see. Like I posted something the other day and I was like, bro, my friends do great things. How about yours? And it's like all my friends that I know is like our circle is so talented with people that just, they're not everyday people. Like you're not an everyday person. I'm not an everyday person. I'm not. Like when I'm done with my life, like I can understand that I've not been the 9-to-5 everyday Joe Schmo, and I've experienced way more than what most people have, and I'm sure you're the same way, and it's kind of gratifying. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I'm honored to be your friend. Like shucks, I remember hearing about you back in the day, and you don't have the most normal of names, so it's not like that's Craig, that's Kyle. It's Thad. And it's like that. It's so impactful, So I was like, oh, that guy's cool. Like maybe I'll meet him one day, And then us here today is super cool that we're homies. Like super grateful for you, man.
Me too, Brian. And since I've known you, you've always been 100. And this industry is crazy. You meet so much nonsense and bullshit and fake. You always been real. Always been 100. Like. you've been prompt, and then like I remember we would try to book you out a gig for something. You know what, Thad? I'm hosting my best friend's birthday party. I can't make it. And it was like,
Yeah.
bruh, like the realness. You didn't have to bullshit. Like it's just real. But what made me think of you like in a way where it's like Krys always has his friends back. I don't know if you remember back in the day, you were doing something at Tsukiji's and we were off and we were rolling up to come visit you guys. And you were in the parking lot ready to kill somebody because he disrespected one of your friends. Do you remember that? I think he's a manager at Tsukiji's.
Oh my God! Yeah, yeah.
And I'm like, hey, what's up, Krys? And you were ready, like you had the like murder. And I was like, oh, what happened? He's like, oh, he touched my friend, or he said something to her. And I'm like,
yeah.
oh, but you working right now? Come on, guys, you guys cannot beef or something. Like, do you remember that?
Yeah, we threw it out the. Well, you know, we was always having issues with that guy.
Yeah.
And you know, we always had the girls, and there's always be some kind of issue, and I think that was the last straw.
Yeah.
And yeah, he did something to my friend. My friend was like, you know, my friend, she's a butch, so like, she dressed like a guy, you know, she talked tough and she would act like one guy, but she's still one wahine.
Yeah.
You know, like, and you know, to flex on one wahine like that, I felt like was disrespectful. I don't care if she act like one guy. She's still, you know, damn well you and man, and she not, and you probably could fold her if you wanted to. Yeah. And yeah, so I flipped out that night.
But what I remember was, how passionate you were to back your friend up, and I'm like, bruh, that's the kind of people like that have your back, and I always remember that about you. But I did remember, like, hey, you guys working right now. But like, but you had your friends back, and like I always stuck in my head like through the years, and it's like, oh, whenever I see you, it's like, oh, it's Krys. Like it's always been real. But yeah, let's wrap it up. So we got the question of the week. What's it gonna be?
All right, guys. Question of the week is, choose wisely now. What are your 3 favorite places to eat?
Oh, come on, bruh.
At least 13, 14.
Tree or 300?
Wait, in Hawaii? Man. You talking? Hawaii, in Hawaii.
Shit. You know that
you like go first or you let me go first?
I mean, you can go first. I got to think about this.
Okay, so first for me we already mentioned it, would be, but not a bunking on chickens, but it would be KJ's. That's my go-to little kid plate lunch place. I'll say that one. You know what I love KJ's. What I've been liking a lot, and it's our boy Hansen. His portobello mushroom katsu. So he does level V. It's a vegan plate lunch, and bruh, like that thing got me. It's like I cannot try any of his other food because I don't like waste my my moment there. So it's like I gotta get that. Like that gotta be one, bro. Cause like, oh, that thing is major. Cause I like mushrooms
too.
Yeah, and bro, it's like vegan, and it's like, oh, I could pound this more than chicken katsu. Yeah. So that'll be my number 2, and probably my number 3 is probably kalapa vai, a French dip sandwich. You ever tried that?
What is that?
Kalapa vai in Kailua. It's like a deli restaurant place. It's a green. They're building one in Waimanalo right now. It's called Kalapa vai Market. It's right by the pub. It's kind of by the pub in Kailua.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And it's they have this thing called French dip sandwich, like this roast beef sandwich on like the best bread, and you dip it in this au jus, and that thing is winners. You gotta try that, dude.
I gotta write that down.
Yeah, Kalapa vai in Kailua.
Okay. Oh well, you know, it's really hard to narrow down the top 3. There is one that's been running through my mind for a long time, and I haven't gone there for a while because every time I do, I just go way too hard. You ever ate Sugoi's?
Yes.
Oh,
The-
so sugois.
Yeah,
The
that's a
garlic
good
chicken.
one, bro. Garlic
And then,
chicken.
But I would have to get a mixed plate, and it's like $20, like $21 to get a mixed plate, so you can get two choices. And then I would get like hamburger steak and garlic chicken with the mac salad and the rice. The problem is I would die for the day if I eat that.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
like, so I gotta make sure I'm doing nothing, because I'm probably gonna
Yeah.
pass out somewhere.
Kanak attack.
At Segoy's,
What is that?
try their tonkatsu at Segoy's. It's just pretty much
Tonkatsu.
it's just like deep fried pork chops. It's fucking mean.
Oh,
Oh man.
that's on the list too now.
That is, yeah.
I work Spectrum Sports, the games, right? And we get that for the football games for our lunch from Segoy's.
What?
Everybody would fuck with the garlic chicken. I'm like, no, give me that pork chop. Oh, man.
Oh.
What? You guys cannot order extra? Put them on the tab.
Yeah. It's a tech writer, bro. A hospitality writer.
Craft services, bro. Craft services.
Oh, let's go. The next one I would have to say TJ's. TJ's food is like top notch. It's TJ's Sports Bar and Grill. It's on Kapiolani at the end, right by the end towards downtown. It's that corner building.
Yeah.
So the chef there, they makes amazing like fried noodles, steak. Your basic bar food, but just high quality.
Well, better than Side Street. Better than Side Street.
All day.
All day. Oh, I gotta go there. Dude, what?
And
they show fights too there, huh?
Yeah, they do fights, sports, everything there. It's a very dude bar though. So I mean, like, it's a very dude sports bar. My friend Ken owns that, and he's a very dude sports fan. So he made it to his vibe, which is pretty much like love sports. The Bradas coming off of work.
Oh, yep. It's right there in town.
Yeah, plenty HPDs always there, just like their spot. So, yeah, and the food's good. I always gotta get takeout for Kia, my other half. Whenever we need more idea for dinner, we just go TJ's, grab fried noodles, Korean chicken, steak, and these giant cheese sticks. So the cheese sticks is like the size of 2 fingers, bro.
Oh,
tick, and just like break them in half.
Oh, mean.
Yeah, and then the last one gotta be Korean. I eat plenty Korean. So you ever been to Kimchi 2?
Oh, yup.
So Kimchi 2 is like an old Kaimuki staple. Like I live Kaimuki now.
Oh wait, keep that thought. But you know where Kimchi 1 is, huh?
No.
In Kaneohe, bro. Right.
No shit.
Yeah, bro.
What?
We got Uno over here.
Let's go.
Yeah, well, Kimchi 2 get action.
Is it the same owners?
I don't know. Must be, huh? Fuckers couldn't come up with better name, man. Name too. Let's go with Kimchi 2.
Yeah. Their food's top notch. Like their meat John is special. They have this sauce that they put on everything that is super good.
And they give choke too, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The owner too, I think he was a promoter or something. I always used to see him at the bar.
Oh.
Jimmy. You remember Jimmy? This big Korean guy. Always used to have the chain with the leather jacket.
Yes, I do. He owns Kimchi. I didn't know that. So I always thought he was like freaking Jiraquan Mafia or something.
Well, he's a big guy, leather jacket with a silver chain, hair slicked back, and he had that deep voice.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to mess with that guy. He looks like, you know what I mean?
The funny thing, is he talked full-blown pidgin. So he comes out, Korean guy, slick hair. Sup, brother? You like one beer? Like, wait, what?
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good choice.
Yeah, and I like going there too because it's fun. Because I don't know if it's like a Korean tradition, like the angry Korean mama-sans, where they just talk choke shit to you.
Yep. I'm half Korean. That's my life.
So there's restaurants like that, right? In town, like the angry Korean lady or whatever. So he's like the crazy Korean man. So like every customer that comes in, he just talks crazy shit. Like there was this one Hawai'i lady that came in one time, and they give out free food to less fortunate. So if you wanted to feed your family, he just tells you, call him up. He'll set you up with the family pack, no questions asked, nothing, and then just take them.
Oh shit.
And anyway, this one Hawai'i lady came in, and she loved what he did. Gave him one fat tip, like, $10-15 or something. Like, oh, it's for you guys, thank you. And he's like, hey, he has this tray of sides. And what he does is he tells her, hey, go take something out of the cooler for your husband. And then she's like taken aback, right? She's like, oh no, I'm good. Like, I gave you a tip. And he's trying to give aloha back to her. And then he stops. He's like, hey, pick something out of that fucking container. You don't like see me piss off. Okay? Oh, her face is like, whoa. And then everybody starts laughing, right? Because they
grab
know
all the
joking.
kimchi.
Yeah, and he's like, guarantee your husband will be happy. No worry. And then boom, she takes one. Cool. She's all laughing. She feels part of the family now, right? Because she just got talked shit to from a guy she doesn't know.
And he's doing something nice.
Yeah, it's local style, right? Like,
wow, that's some three good choices. All right, man. Bro. Well, let's wrap this thing up. We got we could talk for days.
I know.
Should have brought a couple beers and just but right. Any your IG stuff you want to plug? You're on every morning on High 93.
Yep, 93.1 FM, 5:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. It's called The Morning High, and we guarantee not going bully anybody. We only roast each other, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, bro, that's one thing like we were talking earlier, it's like once you're live on the radio, it comes out your mouth, that's it, bro. You can't take it back. At least with podcasts, Boy Band John can edit the bullshit that I talk. Like he can take it out, but that must be I guess if you're doing it with aloha and being pono, you don't have to worry about that though, right?
Yeah, not at all. And with that situation, I had a gag order. I wasn't supposed to talk about them on the radio, but we're not on the radio right now. Yeah, we're on the podcast, a different story. And 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 I understand that what he had done was wrong, but not only people were not only mad at this. People were not only mad at that situation. There was people coming out of the woodwork sharing their stories, right? Yep. So this has been a continuing thing. And I always refer to this analogy to people when they try to bring it up to me. I tell them, well, you're walking with somebody and you're walking next to somebody and they have a pit bull on a leash. And the pit bull turns and bites you. Do you get mad at the dog or do you get mad at the owner? A pit bull's only does what it's trained to do, right?
Yeah.
And, that's what was happening. He was just doing what he was trained to do.
Yeah.
It ended up being a sad situation, but we're not going to do that on our show, yeah? Us, we only roast each other. And if you jump in, and like I said in the beginning of the podcast, if you jump in, then, then you're open for the battle, then it's a different story. You know what I mean? But if not, it's all good. We're all having fun. We only roast each other.
Yeah. And Rella definitely returns the bite.
Bruh, she bite harder sometimes.
Yeah, you gotta be on top of your game, bruh. I'm worried about tomorrow. We up here staying late. You gotta get your sleep because she coming in hot tomorrow.
No way. She busy doing this craft fair thing, so I know I'm gonna be more pumped.
Okay. That's good.
My coworker's my opponent every morning, bro.
It is. She definitely got action. Yeah. So every morning at 5:00, right?
Yep, 5:30 to 10, 93.1.
And then people can find you on Instagram at Krystilez.
Yeah, it's at KRYSTILEZ. The easiest way to find me, you can just look up the hashtag Angry Locals or the Steezy Experience.
Oh, nice.
See a bunch of my posts there.
And any music coming out?
Yeah, so we're dropping the Angry Locals Freestyle Friday wrap up. We're dropping our collection.
Oh, nice.
So all the freestyles for most of this year, it's called the COVID era, because a lot of the freestyles, they were related to what was going on at the moment. So one freestyle would be the shutdowns. One freestyle was the stimulus checks. One freestyle was the governor, and the mayor at the hostess bar, whatever. And so it's kind of a cool project we're releasing. That's coming out in a few weeks.
Oh, nice.
And then the Angry Locals album's coming up next. And I got a bunch of singles I'll be releasing.
That's going to be hot.
Starting 2021. So
that's super. I'm looking forward to that, man. You always come with the fire.
Yeah. Should be fun.
All right. And for us, you can find us on Instagram, Above the Bridge Podcasts, Above the Bridge Pod, our website, atbpod.com. You can find Boy Band John on Instagram, BBJ808.
Yay.
BBJ808
right now.
Yep, follow Boy Band John. He post some crazy stuff. Yep. Other than that, shout out to Defend Hawaii. Again, use promo code ATBPod at checkout and get 15% off your whole purchase order off defendhawaii.com.
Let's go.
Thanks for doing this, man. I appreciate you, brah. For real.
Thank you, brah. Thank you. As soon as you guys started doing this podcast, I really wanted to come on a lot because I wanted to talk story with you. I never get to see you for so long, and it's like, it's actually talk story. I know you've been wanting to do a podcast for a long time, and I think you're the perfect guy to do one.
Thank you, man.
You're solid as all of them, and you're super pono, and I'm just grateful you allowed me to be on your 9th episode, brah.
Right on, bro. I appreciate you, and I've appreciated you this whole time I met you since being in this industry. Mm-hmm. But keep doing your thing, man. I like listening to you on the radio. You guys bring the aloha, the laughter, and you just being you guys selves, and that's to me what matters the most. All right, man. You, shout out as always to the Artist Groove Network and aloha.
Yeah.